Great.
Welcome in online to all of our fans out there on the live stream. We are broadcasting live on a Friday night. It's a beautiful evening here in Western Washington, and of course today is another Friday night with a good mix of racing formats. We've got split scratch today, we have the elimination, and we have the long scratch tonight, and of course we have Kiddie Kilo every single Friday night this season, so we'll be enjoying that this evening as well. Good show up tonight, good weather all weekend. Looks like the weather's really turned out for us really nicely, so racers are here in pretty good numbers. We've been away for a couple weeks, so we know the cancellations with rain, that can be kind of tough. Thank you for joining us. If you're live or if you're watching back later, don't forget to leave a like. Thumbs up really makes a lot for us. And of course, hit the subscribe if you haven't yet. Leave a question or a comment in the comments down below. And thanks for joining us. We're going to start racing here real soon.
And with that, welcome for some racing here tonight. Thank you, fans, for joining us live for some great racing this evening, whether you're here in the park. Thank you for making the journey out this evening, or if you're tuning in online, thank you for watching tonight's racing action. It's Friday night at the Velodrome. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Corey. I'll be happy to give you all the information, try to keep you up to date on the racing action as it unfolds, talk about each of our racing formats, and of course, have a lot of fun with you tonight while we watch these riders go at it. Split scratch starting up for the Cat 1-2 men, now at the rail, getting their instructions from the officials. Just holding for one athlete here. That's all right. We're good. We'll get everything going here shortly.
This happens to be his first Cat 1-2 night, so.
All right, here we go. Exciting.
Just putting the pressure on.
Nailed it.
Anyways, I'll turn up the tunes again while we wait for a sec. Maybe we could have like enveloped the Marymoor crawl into this. Give him until the bell to make it. There we go. Let's get it on up. And this brings us up to almost 20 starters at the rail here as Luca will join us on the back end of the start list. Our riders getting ready for their split scratch and be sending in the neutral here in just a moment. And riders on the way. Good looking list here today for our competition. You got to look out for number 3 on that start list, Merrick Gallagher, who's been on an absolute tear this season. Still a junior, now riding for the Waterline Racing team and has his eyes set on Worlds competition for sure. He has been riding away from fields all through the beginning of this season, clearly training hard, finishing up his career as a student at Redmond High School and trying to transition into some very high-level competition. But we've also got some other great competitors here tonight. Andrew Martin, number 1, our overall Omnium leader for the Rider of the Year last year, is reporting in this evening, as is Quinn Kennedy for a cycling team, number 6. Haven't got to see a lot of laps from this rider yet this season. Ended last season strong. Wears the number 6 for finishing 6th overall in that Rider of the Year competition. So interesting to see how this race plays out for them. With 16 laps on the cards, this is going to be 2 chances to sprint for points in the split scratch. It's relatively short distance for a points race, so it feels like a scratch race, but it is essentially a points race with only 2 opportunities to pick up points, the halfway mark and then at the very end of the race. Points got the same way as a points race, 5, 3, 2, and 1 to the leaders. Not doubled on the final, though, so it's basically 2 equal opportunities from points perspective. Ties are broken by position on the final sprint, which really does still make that final sprint more important than the first when it comes to the final scoring. Off and away on a couple of quick laps here. Everybody getting into their lineup. This is one where you want to get something in the first sprint. You have to be active and involved to guarantee a better position in that second sprint. But of course, again, with ties being settled in the final sprint, you've got to be ready to go the full 16 and compete for the final if you want to be competitive here tonight in the split scratch. 14 laps to go. We're going to get a bell when it shows 9 on the red cards on the infield. A little bit of a break here between our riders. It looks like that's Andy Baker, number 7, who's doing the work to bring things back together. And on his tire, there's number 1 in the Stars and Stripes. That's Andrew Martin. We talked a little bit about him at the end of that neutral, followed by the youngster who's been the real troublemaker of this field, number 3, Merrick Gallagher, with the red helmet on. 13 to go. Spreading out across the track, looking for the next move. It'll come from Quinn Kennedy. I talked a little bit about them in that warm-up lap. Number 6. Now getting a little bit aggressive, going to try off the front. Looks like that might be Galen Erickson, if I'm not mistaken, moving off the front. We'll see as they come back around. Gallagher also responds. So Quinn Kennedy gets the rest of the field moving a bit. That does look like that's going to be a pretty quick catch here down onto the home side of the track. Let's see how this one plays out at 12 to go. Kennedy looks around to see the catch. Galen will carry the momentum forward. Number 25 takes the front. There comes number 3. Gallagher wants to be at the front of this thing too. He is absolutely comfortable with these long-term efforts, and he knows that Galen Erickson's a pretty good work partner. The only reason that Galen Erickson doesn't find a top 10 in the Rider of the Year jersey last season is he just wasn't here every single week. But when he's here, he's a big factor as well, especially if he can get away from the field like this. So this break of 3, not a bad-looking group here to set up for the points in this split scratch. And here comes your newest member of the 1-2, is Luca, pulling away from the field. Number 44 feel like he needs to get into this break as well. Back to the field, we'll see that they're kind of backing up just a little bit. There's not a ton of pressure at the front right now to catch. This might kind of roll away on the track here at this stage. That's Serge Malikian now at the front of the field, number 99, just there for a moment. So again, nobody's trying too hard here to catch. No bell yet for the leaders. They're seeing 10 to go, as is the rest of the field. Onto the home straight there. Decent gap here as the leaders hold firm with the 4 now all together. Number 23 for ACT at the front. Taking a half pull there is Ryan Havel. Still looking around a little bit. Is this going to be some sort of launch here down the back straight? It's close enough that these riders could strike and catch before points go out. Tyson Danielson in the blue for Waterline Racing does a pretty strong pull down the back straight. And now the bell's ringing for the leaders. The field looking like they're going to back off here. There's not a ton of pursuit just yet. In fact, the leaders are slowing down a little bit looking around. This might give a chance for number 30 to come right back into the picture. Elliot Crowther on the bell lap might be in position to come strike. Martin on the wheel. Danielson also there. So the breakaway may not even find the points they were hoping for. The strike down the back straight now starting to put together. Martin coming into the picture. Crowther makes the catch. Martin does the leapfrog all the way up to the front. Your rider for the year, leader from last year, positioned nicely. He'll fight against Gallagher for points, but it will go to number 1 for 5 on the first sprint. Looks like number 3 coming across the line second. That's Luke Ostertag-Hill, I believe, picking up the 3 points, and number 6 picking up 1 unofficially. And that will be confirmed as called. It's rider number 1 taking the early lead after the halfway point in the race. Andrew Martin with 5. Merrick Gallagher in second with 3. 2 points to Luke Ostertag-Hill and 1 point on the back end to number 6, Quinn Kennedy. One more chance for another sprint just like that at the end of the race. Ties broken based on position in that final sprint with 6 to go. It's Crowther and Gallagher in the breakaway. I'm going to be calling Gallagher's name quite a bit here for these type of breakaway efforts. Crowther, similarly to when I was talking a little bit earlier about number 25, Galen Erickson, the only reason he's not really in the top 10 is just regular attendance. When he was here last season, very competitive, very quick to find the right place, and really smart within these races. Very hard to get him out of the competition and put him in a bad spot. He finds his way up to the front here right behind Gallagher, who's just kind of doing the solo ride right now. Back to the rest of these chasing riders. Who's the next one to respond? It looks like it's number 22. That's Matty Hers, making a pretty big dig here, finding his way up. The next closest rider is going to be Galen Erickson heading down the back straight. There's Andy Baker pulling away from the field, and the rest of the field sitting above the blue line now as they come out of turn 2, being led by Tyson Danielson, and no chase coming from the group. There's a move from the middle. Looks like Carl Hafer might be trying to make his way out, maybe. Malikian also now up and out of the saddle. So a little bit of a chase effort coming from the rest of this field. We have a lead of 3. One rider in the chase is Baker, number 7, and here comes the rest of the field around the corner as Galen Erickson will join back into the rest of the riders at 4 to go. 15 leading the way is Carl Hafer for the field. Pretty dynamic race here in the split scratch. Just a few laps remaining. They're going to see 3 to go. Checking in on our leaders who are just rotating around, taking their turns. They're working as a team of 3. This is Crowther, Gallagher, and Hers in a team of 3 now working together to make sure no one else takes the points from them. Taking equal pulls and turns here. So that's going to look pretty consistent here. Baker still trying to find his way up to them. That's number 7. Currently positioned to score at least 1 point in this upcoming sprint. At the front of the field is now number 1, the current race leader, Andrew Martin, underneath the Greg Cycle sign. Interesting to see if anybody in here wants to try to put something together and get themselves a bit closer to the lead position. As it's going right now, it might be a pretty good-looking race for Gallagher, who will be in position to score in both of these sprints. He's up there in that lead group of 3. Still no response here in the field. Now riding to the blue line. Wide across the track. Space down low will be taken by Nolan Adams for Dyna Racing. Field seeing 2. Leader is halfway up the track from the field. So about 175, 200-meter lead advantage, and they're all above the blue line. So the leaders are essentially free to finish this thing up. They will be getting the bells. The field continue to ride high. No points going their way. That essentially means the field is going to be sprinting for about 6th place overall. Leaders getting the bell. No sprint from them just yet. There's the next move out of the field. Bell ringing for the leaders. Still the group of 3. Now we're getting some development out of the field. We'll head over to the leaders to see how this sprint is going down. As down the back straight, Matty Hers leads things out. Crowther attacks next. And there goes Gallagher trying to pick up the final 5, which would be what he needs to settle this one in his favor. Crowther would be coming in for 3 points across the line. Should give him a 3rd place overall in today's race for his efforts. Gallagher victorious on that one. Crowther, I believe, unofficially will end up in 3rd place overall after picking up 3 points in that sprint. Andy Baker here is picking up 1. Should also get him up on the leaderboard for pulling away from the field. And out of the field, we've got looks like the colors of Center Cycles. Is that Darlene pulling ahead? It is. Number 16 will be the next rider across the line, which will break ties with all riders with 0. And that'll do it for this group. They'll make their way off on the back straight. Good racing here to start it off for the Cat 1-2 men. Split scratch. Track is open for our next group coming up to the rail now. At the rail now, Cat 3 men for the split scratch. Getting lined up for their instructions, and will be sent off the neutral here in just a moment. Riders rolling out. It's not a split scratch. You should know the rules by now. 2 sprints for points. In the halfway point at the end, this one's a 14-lapper, so a bell at 8 to go with points at 7. And a bell at 1 to go and points at the final lap. Good crowd here tonight. Good to see so many folks. We need to practice because I haven't heard it very much. If you're here at the Velodrome, put your hands together, make some noise. I want to know you're actually here today. Where's our fans here at the Velodrome? There we go. Good evening and welcome to all of you. It feels like it's a Friday night again here, and it's summer is now in the air. Racing is going to be a more consistent thing here, I swear. It's been tough for the last couple weeks. Western Washington has not been a fan of us. But here we are. Beautiful weather, great racing, good crowds here tonight. Looks like the Kiddie Kilo is going to be another monster evening of kids on the track. And this race has started. The whistle was sounded, so the first lap now underway. 14 to go for the Cat 3 men in the split scratch. James Campbell Harris has got some sort of plan here. One of our regular Monday night sprinters, James Campbell Harris, is a Cat 3. He's got some big gear here. He's rolling up some top speed to try to pull this thing away right away. And some riders kind of sniffing out the move, including one of his teammates. That's Mike Ritter, number 321, right behind him. And he'll pull up after the big, strong opening effort. So we've got a group of 3 now rolling away. Looking down the middle of the back straight, you can see what this did to our slightly smaller Cat 3 field. They have been pulled apart quickly. There's a bit of a scramble here to respond to this acceleration, but Ritter's also pulled off the front. So look at this, already down to 2. Looks like we're running a team sprint here. And all the way down to 1 now. And this is pretty pulled apart as we look back. It looks like the next closest rider in the gray and blue, that's Otis Hatfield going under the Stanley sign, pulling away from the rest of the field. He's getting to a pretty good turn of speed now. Bell at 8 to go. They still got a couple laps, so we'll get the bell. Rider getting caught here is number 318, Aaron Halfacker. On the front for the field is number 320, Calder Hardigan. Pulls up out of the sprinter's lane. As the leaders are caught, it looks like they're going to pull off the gas just a little bit here, let things sort of calm down and reset for a moment. All right, so some showmanship on the first couple of laps, but it looks like our leading factory riders are pulled up and letting the field right underneath them. So the front of the race is in turn 2, catching a couple of riders as they'll go down a lap and back into the field if they continue to stay in this contest. You mentioned earlier here on the microphone from Amara about Luca getting his upgrade. That's part of the competitive system we have here at the track is riders that do well in their fields earn upgrade points and eventually work their way into the next category. That's for the intention of keeping things competitive and well matched for riders. This is our Category 3 competitors who have made their way beyond the Cat 4 designation. And that's the designation that comes right after being a novice and is a starter at the track, which we have novice racing and more Cat 4 racing during our week on Monday nights and Wednesday nights. So lots of opportunities to be out here during the week. If you're curious and want to see some of our other development programs we have, come by on a Monday or a Wednesday, 7 p.m. No cost to watch racing. 8 to go. First sprint underway. Currently being led by Aaron Halfacker, number 318. Everybody is packed in right behind. Look at the rider up above the blue line, though. That's going to be one to watch in this sprint. He's already starting to position himself. That's Hatfield. Now out of the sprinter out of the saddle into the sprint. Now he'll goes down that gap, down underneath the red line, taking over that front position. Halfaker responding really well, though. Nice turn of the wheel there in the middle of the turn. He was going to maybe try to take over again at the front. Halfaker responds well. Hatfield for 3 points on the first sprint. Number 314 comes across the line second. We'll get those numbers confirmed for our results here shortly. A good sprint to open things up. Halfaker should be your leader after the first sprint. So look out for number 318 for Apex Racing. Five to go. Everybody all back together again after that first sprint. Still, of course, our leader, number 318, Halfaker, after winning the first sprint. Hatfield in second with 3 points, number 310. 4 to go. Bell at 1. Here's Nolan to the front, number 379, pulling up for the rest of the field now. On deck will be our open women category, followed by the Kiddie Kilo for this evening. Kiddie Kilo riders will be starting to queue you up here very soon. Listen for those instructions here in a bit. Behind the wheel of Snoblin currently, there's Halfaker, your leader of the race currently. Things getting lined up and slightly a little bit quicker here as they work their way towards this finish. Third in that first sprint was number 314, Zachary Simon, and it was 320, Calder Hardigan with 1 point. Confirmed with 1 point is Calder Hardigan from the first sprint. In third, is number 314, Zachary Simon. 310 in second with 3, and Halfaker 318, your leader with 5. Coming into the final bell here very shortly. We have one brake rider away from the rest of the field, and everybody else is strung out in single file right behind Carter on the front there, pulling up now out of the sprinter's lane. The bell's ringing for the finish. It's 1 to go. Big move here for number 312 as Isaiah West for Liquid Velo is away from the field. Zach Simon, 314, leads the field currently on this final lap. Hatfield in a position again. Look again above that blue line. This looks very familiar to the previous sprint, but this time it'll be Halfaker that looks very comfortable, cruising to the front. Another great sprint, but this time pulling it off like Hatfield did last time from the middle of the sprint. This will be good for the win here tonight. Isaiah off the front for 5 will get, I believe, second overall tonight. Very likely here. Here comes your winner for the race. Halfaker picking up 3 on that sprint and 5 on the first. Will be good for 8 total. Good to be your winner tonight.
Alrighty, and with the women's race next, this is your first call to Kiddie Kilo staging. So behind the beer garden, behind containers, find your age and line up by group. So Kiddie Kilo, you are officially staging now.
Open women to the rail for the split scratch. Riders of the open women field to the rail for your split scratch. Riders rolling away into the neutral for yet another split scratch. We're all seasoned veterans, it feels like. After watching those previous two, it pays to be competitive in 2 sprints in a row, so you got to figure how to be consistently competitive in this race. Slightly bigger group this evening than we've been having for a bit. The open women here this evening have a nice looking start list. Should have some great competition here, but so far, it's been Ruud Tomko's field to lose. Number 101, rider of the year from this group last year, racing for the Jerry Baker Juniors. Another rider training for national level competition and success is expected to have a great season this year. Off to such a wonderful start already. Another product of the Jerry Baker Junior Development Program here at the Velodrome. Joined by a couple of speedy riders out here this evening, including Coach Kelly, Darlene back from Rice University, throwing in the mix. Look out for number 102 tonight in the blue. And teammate Sarah Lynch, number 103 for the Jerry Baker Juniors, taking some top spots in this field as well. There's Ruud Tomko right to the front, number 101, your rider of the year from a season ago. And so far, the dominant rider of this field over the first few weeks of competition here in 2026. If you're out there enjoying the live stream, thanks for tuning in and watching, or maybe you're rewatching later. Don't forget you can use today's live chat to just check in and say hi. We've been enjoying hearing from our international fans that tune in and watch. Or if you're here to support a rider, you can leave a comment. If you're here at the park and you don't mind doing so, it might feel a little, disingenuous to pull out your phone when you're watching the racing right now. But you could help us out. We're a nonprofit trying to get more coverage, more exposure, and more support for the sport of track cycling. If you could pull out the smartphone and head to either our website or to YouTube. YouTube channel is JB Velodrome. Find the live stream there today. Hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button. That little extra bit of support certainly means a lot to us. If you have a question while you're watching racing, or you want to know a little bit more about what you're seeing out here, don't be afraid to use that live chat as a feature for asking questions. We are happy to engage with you that way. Our facility prides itself on being a great place to learn. This is a very gentle racing surface when it comes to velodrome competition. If you've seen any of the recent Olympics, Summer Olympics, you would have watched a lot of indoor cycling, indoor track cycling going on with banks that are double the embankment you'll see here. Also about half the length. So those riders are getting tossed around a little bit more. Here's a fantastic place to learn. So we're all about education. We're all about helping folks learn more about track cycling. We've got great educational opportunities here at our velodrome, including adult and youth classes that you can sign up for. So all those Kiddie Kilo riders out there someday might be signing up for one of our great Camp Velo experiences through the city of Redmond. We hope to see them back for one of those someday. That's for ages 8 to 16, roughly, depending on skill set. Our riders going around here together somewhat competitively, just trying to keep things kind of quick at the front, but nobody's putting on any attack just yet. We've got 2 sprints in this decently long split scratch. There's Westover coming to the front, Charlotte leading the way for the Jerry Baker Jr. Velodrome team. I always appreciate that bright orange bike. Helps us really pick her out from a crowd, because there's a lot of Jerry Baker Juniors usually racing in this field. You can tell that black and blue jerseys of the race team. Number 111 is Neve Durfee, who's been... She's been figuring out some ways to be very competitive here in 2026. So another rider to watch, 111. Seeing some top results from her. Kind of going back and forth with Rue. Last time we were watching Friday Night Racing, it was Rue to get the best of most of those results. But Neve in the right place at the right time has been a real good competitor here during this season. Man, bell till the sprint here. We're seeing 7 to go. Points next time around. Edwards takes the sprint lane to start things off. And there goes Neve at the blue line. I believe that's going to be one of the Jerry Baker riders. Sarah Lynch following the wheel. There goes Darlene into position. Nice lineup here. Here comes Tomko as well. It's kind of all the names we talked about in that warm-up are getting lined up for us. Look out for the zippiness from Tomko down to the sprinter's lane, backing up and out. Look for Tomko to come around the corner and take over on this one. Tomko for 5. Following the way is number 110, the Portland speedster. It's Hillary Luther coming in for 3 points. Your leader after the first sprint, Rue Tomko. Powerful sprint there from the middle of the field to take over at the front, but Hilly Luther following the wheel very well. The competitor out of Portland is always making it quick when she shows up to race here at the Velodrome. Now is a smart position for her to be in. Third in that first sprint is number 102, Kelly Darlene, now with 2 points. Fourth across the line, number 103, Sarah Lynch for the Jerry Baker Juniors, picks up 1 point. 4 to go. There's your rider currently in third, number 102 at the front. Good to see Luther back up here competing in the summer at the Velodrome. It's always hard to make the trip up from Portland when you don't know if racing's going to even happen with the likelihood of rain and cancellation at our facility. We got to see a lot of good laps from this rider last season. Competed at the GP, our regional, national level competition we host here with our biggest cash purse of the year. Looks like she's in good form here to compete again this season. She goes to the back of that lineup as our riders take turns leading at the front. Just like if you're going on a friendly bike ride with your friends, whoever's at the front is doing the most work, so it's good if you get in a lineup like this to share the workload, take turns at the front, and that's what we're doing right now. This is working together to keep it quick, taking relatively equal turns. Sometimes you'll see riders being a bit more selfish. They're going to take really short pulls or not even a pull at all. They'll just get out of the way right away because they're trying to save their legs for the points later. So that's kind of some of the inner politics of watching these races, is seeing which riders are actually keeping it quick and are others trying to hold off their energy and save it for the sprints. Especially in a field of 6 right now, there's still a place to hide. You don't have to do the work all the time. This is both the field and the front of the race right now. We've got a chase of 4 over in turn 1. Off the back of the pace. Currently Edwards at the front of that group, now starting to reaccelerate them, trying to keep it quick for our chasing group. Back to the leaders over in turns 3 and 4. Whirling their way through. Sprint lane's wide open. Here comes Westover right at the bell. Good move for the junior here. 104 on the lead of the lap. Good response from Neve. Number 111 drops down the sprinter's lane as well. Now trying to close that gap down quickly on the kid. There's Tomko following the wheel of Durfee into the back straight. Tomko still in a good striking position, as is Darlene. Darlene following the wheel of Tomko. Tomko takes over at the front position above the red line. Durfee losing a lot of position here now as Rice University coming in picture as well. Darlene chasing Tomko. Tomko at the front, and it looks like it will stay that way. Good pursuit from Darlene. Not quite enough to catch. Number 102 second across the line. Hilary Luther third across the line for 2 points, and Durfee will still find 1 on the back end of that sprint. And riders are all wrapped up on this one. Split scratch. Make your exit on the back straight, please. It's time for Kiddie Kilo, so if you have not yet found your order and your place, we need you all in position now. Kiddie Kilo riders must all now be in position. We are going to start bringing you out onto the track now. Helmets on, lined up with your age group. Find your place behind those containers. Get all nice and lined up. If Dominic is in range and is able to come over to the building, come give us a quick visit. Thank you. Bringing our first group down now for the Kiddie Kilo onto the track. Come on down to the start, everybody, in this first group. One free lap around the track for the youngsters, getting all started up here. Coach will get them ready to go.
Whew, I'm tired. All right, this first one super speedy lap. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, someone's ready. Here we go. Ready, set, go! Nice straight lines. Try to stay down on the bottom.
Where you at, corner one? Make some noise for the kids. I see you over there, up there, and you're looking high and mighty on the rail. There you go. The future of sport and everything good in Redmond, I like to say. Watching the kids go around. Mentioned a little bit during that last race that we are an education forward sort of facility. Long running tradition here. Let your friends and family know they can bring the kids with the bike and get out on the velodrome for a really fun evening. Get to hang out, get some food at the food truck. Might even sneak into the beverage garden for a drink or two. Enjoy seeing your kid out here, take a couple laps around, have some fun, watch our riders on a couple of races. It's a great way to spend a Friday evening during the summer. We're here every single Friday at 7 o'clock. So come on out and enjoy with us. If it's not this week, hopefully we'll see you soon. Good run around the track for these youngsters. Into the grass on your left. There you go. Into the grass. Good job. Follow the instructions of all posted juniors' hands.
Yeah, try to head into the middle where Gavin is. We got to keep you off of the track. We got a lot of kids. Keep the applause going. Nice, all the way to the finish, and then head to the middle of the field.
Another huge turnout tonight for the Kiddie Kilo. We love to see it.
This is another great looking group. Once again, you're doing one super speedy lap, and then you're hanging out on the infield cheering everybody else on. Is this group ready?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, yes. Yes, we are. Here we go. Ready, set, go. Nice straight lines. Try to stay down low. Oh, we got to start those big gears. That's hard. Try to stay nice and down low. It is safer on the flat part. They all want to go up high. I get it.
That's right. You got to stay down on the flat part. Stay down to the left. We know. It looks so enticing to get up there. Good reason to sign up for Camp Velo, you know?
Yeah,
Someday.
starting at 8 years old. I think the first camp, which is in like a week and a half, is sold out, but there's spots in our July and August camps. So it starts at 8 years old. If they love biking, it is the place to be. And we have the track bikes and the awesome instruction by our junior coaches. And they could end up racing out here. Oh, we got one junior down. They're going to pick it back up, though. Juniors are tough. There we go.
The thing our fans don't see tonight is that the Jerry Baker Junior team isn't just like the 12 or so kids they see racing on a Friday. There's another whole community of another 40-some athletes ready to support and make new friends, and great place for kids to be out here and racing and learning.
There we go. Parents at the finish, watch out there. They are coming in hot, and they are turning into the grass. So parents over by the finish, just heads up, because they are coming in hot. There's like sprint finishes happening here.
Keep going through the grass, kids. Don't stop right away. Keep on going. There you go. Don't get in the way. Keep moving. Keep moving. Good job.
There we go.
Nice
We
work.
got streamers and the whole deal.
Oh, there's the award for the most bedazzled bike going by. Excellent work.
Yep, keep on moving into the center of the infield and just hang out there. There we go. Let's cheer on the last few here. It's going to be up 3 up sprint here. There we go. Nice work all the way to the finish, and then kind of turn in there and head to the middle.
That's cute. Yeah. Get some good views on the live stream from some new angles. Thanks to our great team up here. Having some fun.
Woo, nice job.
Great work, kids. This is looking good. We got more groups to go. Next one coming on the track now. Next group on to the track now. Come on down to find Amara at the start line. All the way down to the lowest part of the track.
I swear these kids just keep multiplying. This is so many kids. This giant group is going to do another super fast lap. Is this group ready?
Yeah!
Okay, here we go. Ready, set, go! Try to stay on the flat. Maybe wait a second. There's a lot of you. Whoop, buddy, stay down low if you can. Oh, no! Lots of kids. They'll get up. You got it. Help them out, juniors. Pile up at the line. There we go. You got it. You got it. Oh, they're back up. They're back up. Give them a round of applause. They're tough. Whew. Like I said, I think that group just kept multiplying.
Friends tuning in from the Pullman area on the live. I had to look up where Palouse was. I'm even from the state, and I was like, I don't know. The other side. I'll have to go check that out now. Thanks for tuning in and watching. It's good to hear from some fans. A lot of our folks are watching on TV, so maybe not interacting with our live chat very much, but it's great to have you watching here tonight either way. We're in the middle of our Kiddie Kilos. Everybody will be back up with some more racing. We have an elimination and long scratches ahead of us this evening. Still ahead. The kids doing a great job out here getting cheered along by all the parents and all the fans. Down into the grass. Take your left-hand turn into the grass. There we go. They figured it out. They're just trying to zip around the track.
There we go. Try to get to the center of the grass. You sadly only get to do one lap. There's probably over 100 kids. So we can't quite do bonus laps. So try to stay in the grass and cheer everybody else on. There we go. Keep going all the way and push them all the way to the center there. Keep them going. With our last couple of Fridays of rainouts, this shouldn't be a surprise, right? All these kids are just waiting. School's almost out. Kids want to be on their bikes. There we go. Nice straight lines. Exit and kind of squeeze into the grass there. Nice work. Hey, juniors, kind of politely push everyone in like 10 feet, please. Let's try to squeeze everybody in like 10 more feet. We have a whole nother group of pedal bikes to go.
Next group coming on the track now. More pedal bikes. Are you kidding me? Look at this. A whole nother group. Come on down all the way to the bottom. There you go. All the way down to the bottom. You got it. Good job. Look at all these kids. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, easily over 100 tonight. Come on down for some more pedal bikes.
I feel like there should be a Woom bike ad. There's so many of these bikes. There we go. Come on down. Nice straight lines. We're going to try to stay on the bottom. Hey, people, we're only doing one lap, though. We're only doing one lap, please. We got more people coming out.
Matthew, you got this.
Okay, I think this is the last pedal bikers. Oh, woo. They're anxious. This group, are you ready?
Yes!
Yes, they are. Okay, we're going to try to be super fast. Stay down low. Ready, set, go! Watch out. There's a lot of them. There we go. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going.
That is a crowd of bikes. That's incredible.
I think we got some runners in this one, too.
Oh, yeah.
It's your friendly reminder of how long this track is, running 400 meters. Some of those adults are going to be tired.
I mean, I've been out here on the microphone now for about a decade doing this, and it still is remarkable when we started how we had, maybe like 40 kids out here on a good Friday night, and now we're well over 100 pretty much every single time we do this. Pretty cool to have seen this consistent community growing up here at the Velodrome with these young kids coming out week after week. I mean, some are so brave they're up in the middle of turn 3 right now. Goodness gracious. Look out, kids. There we go. Okay, he's back down.
Whew. The banking is so fun.
It is. It really is.
Once again, they're doing a whole lap. If you don't think they can do the full lap, just kind of pull off into the grass. It's a long lap. And I will say for these Kiddie Kilo riders, we do have Kiddie Kilo riders that have turned into Jerry Baker Juniors on our race team. So there's a pathway for bike racing starting at the Kiddie Kilo, which is pretty awesome. All right, we have kids coming through the home stretch here, so kind of clear the way. And then my juniors, try to keep them in the grass, please. There we go. Let's cheer. This is a long run. There's still some over on the back. We got to keep the cheers going. Woo! Nice work. Yeah, I got to watch out. The grass is bumpy. There we go. Yep, get him over there. Keep him over there. Yeah, you can't do bonus laps, sadly. You just got to stay in the grass. Nice work. I like the full face helmets. There we go. Try to corral those juniors. Keep them over there, those young Kiddie Kilo riders. Look at that leg speed. That's a track rider if I ever saw one. There we go. Keep going all the way to the finish. Don't run into me, though. There we go. All the way to the finish. Try to keep those kids in there. Nice work. All the way to the finish. Keep it going. We got a nice little group right here. All the way to the finish line. Keep it going. Keep it going. Nice work. Woohoo. Nice work. Nice work. All right, now we get to see our youngest push bike come on down. They're going to start across this whole line. They can walk their bikes down. That's probably the safest bet. Walk the bikes down and then come line up all the way across the track. They can start at the bottom. They can start at the top. There's a line of junior racers and myself. Perfect. So line up right here. And as a reminder, we have a lot of push bikers. These push bikers, hold up! We're so excited already. They are just doing the straightaway. They are just doing the straightaway. So they're just racing the straightaway as their goal. All right, I think I got most everybody here. So once again, push bikers, you are just going to the finish, which is down the straightaway. Your goal is to ride a nice straight line. And then there's stickers and ice cream and all that good stuff. So instead of asking the kids if they're ready, Beer Garden fans, are you ready for Push Bike Derby? Let's kind of make some noise. Yes, they are ready. Okay, juniors that are our wall, get ready to run out of the way. Here we go. Ready, set, go! Nice straight line, push bikers. Woo! Got to dodge out of the way here, all the way down to that wall of juniors down there. Woo! All right, keep on cheering on. That is a large group of children and parents down there. Woo! We still have some straggling push bikers, but if people would like to make their way over the rail, you can go over the rail by the building, or you can walk your way back to the spot where you entered. Right now, it's easy to get out. There's not a line. We have stickers, and then the ice cream truck is ready and waiting for you. So, Kiddie Kilo riders, let's try to make our exit out where you entered. Junior racers, if you want to kind of help push people out kindly, that would be great. Corey, can you help me out?
All right, families, it's time to move this way. Nice job. Thank you very much. Anywhere to exit is fine. You can go right up the bank if you want and cross over the rail. Time to exit. Thank you so much. On deck, our Cat 1-2 men for their elimination is getting ready to start.
We have stickers up there, free stickers, and then like I said, I bet the line at the ice cream truck is short now, so get up there now. Head on up track. Once again, there's stickers up at the sign-in area.
All cyclists and families will need to exit. All young cyclists and families, exit. You may exit along the rail. You do not need to wait for the gate if you'd like. You can hop the fence. It's all fine. It can be a little bit of a line, so we know a little bit of traffic jam there. You can take the shortcut. Thanks again to all our families for making their way out. I know many of you are return customers, so to speak, but more importantly, you're actually part of our regular community, because without you, Friday night would not be the same. Thank you for making your way out to join us again. Good to see so many of you again with your kids, enjoying the velodrome environment. We hope to have you back again for another Kiddie Kilo edition. We're doing it every single Friday night this year.
There you go. Once you get your sticker, keep on heading out. Like I said, the food truck as well as the ice cream truck, I'm sure, is waiting for you. Parents, you can dip into that beer garden. Kids, not allowed. It's like a safety zone. You're safe from your children.
Ooh, pro tip.
Yeah? There we go. Get your sticker. Head on out. Thank you for coming. All right, we are exiting right now, though. We're not trying to ride extra. It's so tempting. We don't want to rush the kids.
Right in the middle over there. Wonderful. The inside of corner 4 might be interesting. Like over by
All right, we can get them staged at the rail. Tim, if you're ready. All right, 1-2s to the rail. Just can't be right here in this open part. Not suggested. Give another round of applause to those Kiddie Kilo riders. That was a lot of kids. That was like 150 maybe? That was a lot. Thank you for coming. Now we get to see another very speedy race. Make sure you stick around for this one. Corey, what are they racing?
We got our Cat 1-2 men on the rail for the elimination, getting their instructions now. And there's the send-off. Sorry for talking over you, Tim. Riders away on a quick one. I know it sounds intimidating. The elimination. What'd they do wrong? The only thing you can do wrong in this race is be the last rider across the line. Every single lap, last rear-wheeled across the finish line is eliminated from the race. We're going to continue to whittle down this field one by one, lap after lap, until we're down to the final 2, essentially. That'll be a sprint for first and second. Might need to roll this again. It looks like Sherfy might not be in position yet. It's a fast first lap. The officials will give the signal. We are not together. Racing has not begun just yet. One rider to get into contention still. That'll be Sherfy just getting into position here as hers has found the lead position on the front of this field. That's Andy Baker, number 7, directly behind him. I believe that's Siegel for Waterline Racing in position 3 in this lineup, and it does look like Sherfy should find contact in turn 3, which should put us in position where we can hear the whistle and the racing underway. That's the fastest neutral in track cycling, is the elimination, as the position in this field is so critical. The neutral is quick. You can't unneutralize until riders are together, so we are able to get there now. And I heard the beverage garden clapping a little bit. That's right. They're excited to see a good race here. One of my big jobs here will be make sure to call clearly the bib number and the rider that's eliminated each lap. For those watching at home, those here at the park enjoying this one, look at the top of the track as they're exiting turn 4. Look for acceleration from those riders near the rail. They're going to be the ones that are safe. It's riders generally in the middle and down low that are going to be in the hard spot each lap. The first up is 16, Darlene, number 16. Again, it's one of those riders kind of in the middle lower section of the group. You're in the safest spot when it comes to the draft, but a tough spot when it comes to elimination. 16 eliminated. 16. Darlene. 16 eliminated. No pole. The green flag is up. It's a no pole lap. We'll continue on. All right, so this is back to an elimination lap now. One of the reasons we don't track the laps on this race is, yes, you can assume it's going to be the number of riders out there, essentially -1. But sometimes we get a little bit of traffic issues or a little bit of miscommunication, so we're just going to build that in and say, who knows how many laps. Here we go. Here's another one coming to the line. Woo-hoo. 44 eliminated. 44, Ostertag Hill. I thought for a second my earlier advice of watching the rail be safe was going to be already thrown to doubt there, as Ryan Havel, number 23, was up near the rail in a close elimination there. He finds it by a small margin over number 44, but I'm not sure he's got the legs left here. He's moving the short way down to the sprinter's lane. That might not do it here. He knows it. 23 is Havel. 23, Havel. All right, we're working our way down in this one. The elimination, the longer you stay in, the higher on the podium you get for this race. Still plenty of way to go here before we get to top 5. Look down in the middle again. It's going to be number 20 down the sprinter's lane. It's David Magidson, number 20. Madison, 20. You can see a lot of action on this lap as there's a lot of rotation at the back. Riders not liking their current position. Crowther, Malikian, they all start moving up. There's Gallagher as well in the red helmet repositioning. Josh Sherfy, who had to put in the extra effort at the very beginning of the race, he's still safe here. He's going to work the back of this field again. He's going to follow the wheels of Danielson up there high and see if he can stay one more lap in. And he will. It'll be 11 this time. Nolan eliminated number 11. Sherfy does it again as he works that back part of the field. He's just following a wheel and then accelerating around the group. He's on the wheel of Crowther right now, looking to do it again. Hafer's starting to look around the rider in pink, trying to figure out where he's going to position himself. He knows he's near the back, so he starts to push up into the field. But the space is going to come up high. Riders looking for their place here. It will be number 18 at the bottom. It's Grinsel. As you'll see oftentimes, it looks like it's going to be one of those riders off the back at the top of the group, but it ends up just being tough down there in the sprinters lane. The shorter lane has less control over positioning every single lap. Still watching Sherfy at the back. He has a little bit of a gap again, but he closes in on the field. Looks like he's going to be able to position himself well. Again, look down at the bottom here. Tough spot for number 99. 99 is eliminated. Malikian. Sherfy does it again. He's back to that same spot. We're just going to keep talking about him because he's in the most interesting position in the race. The back. Following number 5, Chris Wilson. And again, Danielson there at the back, number 10. It looks to be number 25 right in front of him. Now both Galen Erickson, number 25, goes up to the blue line, as does Sherfy. Once again, trying to get someone out low. Number 10 it is. Danielson. Danielson, number 10. Well, this has been going on. One rider is off the front by just a small margin. That's Quinn Kennedy that has gapped the group just a little bit here. No points gained for being at the front. It's just about staying away from the elimination. Seven is Baker. 7, Baker. Eliminated that lap. Still Quinn Kennedy off the front. Watching Sherfy again. He has made it a long way in this race from this position. Every lap being at the back and just making enough move here, enough power to overtake the field. He's going to do it again. Look down to the middle. This time it's 15, Hafer. 15, Hafer. 15, Hafer. Kennedy still in a very comfortable position. He's just about, looks like they're 25, 30 meters up in front is Quinn Kennedy. 15 eliminated. 15 eliminated. 15 eliminated. No pole. Can you hear the extra speakers that are over here working, or are they off? Continuing on. We still have Kennedy off the front, and this looks to be a group of now 7 riders. So we're in the top 8 currently, well into this top 10 for this race. Going across the track, look out down low once again. I think Hers is in the tough spot. It will be 22. Hers. 22. Quinn Kennedy is nearly caught here by the field. Sherfy's still in that back position, trying to do it one more time. Gapped a little bit here, trying to run at it. Siegel. Oh, I think it'll be down low. It's 13. Siegel. 13. Siegel. Kennedy is caught. This brings the remaining 6 riders all together into this group. Sherfy trying to do it again. If he can do it just a couple more laps, he'll have earned his way all the way into the top 5 by always being at the back in turn 3. Playing that devil's role really well here tonight. The rider for Coalition in the black and teal colors. Can he do it again here? He will. 6 down low. 6 is Quinn Kennedy. On the lap they catch. The rider for our cycling team is found out there on the very next elimination, and Sherfy has made his way to the top 5. Crowther right in front of him in the blue. Chris Wilson in the green. That's found cycling. There's Merrick Gallagher down in the sprinters lane. Must be Galen Erickson, number 25, right next door to him. Sherfy again at the back. It's going to likely be 5 across the track here for this elimination if he can stick in one more. Trying to work his way up. Does he have enough power here? And I think his turn is finally up. Number 19. A remarkable race and fun to watch here tonight for Sherfy. Finds his way into top 5 just by playing that devil's role. Taking one rider out each lap. Makes it into 5th this evening in the elimination. It's Crowther now on the back end with Gallagher leading the way. It's pretty hard to take a race away from Gallagher. He's just going to try and make this quick and powerful from the front. The other riders are going to have to get aggressive here through this turn. Try to surprise him a little bit. Next one out is going to be Wilson, who already gives the wave. He knows it's coming. Number 5 gets the call. Out in 4th here tonight in the elimination for the Cat 1-2s. Crowther is in 3rd position right now in this lineup, right behind Galen Erickson. And I mentioned both these names. They are not in the top 10 for the Ride of the Year last year because they just weren't here every single week. But when they're here, they are quite the competitors. Great athleticism, good overall speed, excellent race smarts, both in the right place where they need to be here tonight to compete against Gallagher in this one. Crowther losing a little bit of tempo there coming out of the turn, and it will be rider 30 getting the call officially. 25 is on the wheel of Gallagher. The junior, who's just been dominant here at the Velodrome this season so far, whips up high, looking for maybe from a move from Galen, and kind of takes the wind out of his sails, sort of mirroring his move on the track a little bit that we see both of them do. Now up and out of the saddle, Gallagher from the front, trying to hold on to the pace. And it looks like it will be, once again, Gallagher picking up a win here tonight. Galen Erickson with a great race here this evening, 2nd overall in tonight's elimination in this big field. Well accomplished competitor he is with a nice result here tonight. Cat 3 is now coming up for the elimination. To the rail, please. Cat 3s to the rail. And there's the signal for the neutral to start. Elimination in the neutral. And the whistle sounded, racing underway. No surprise to see this rider come to the front right away is going to be Halfacker again. We watched the split scratch. The winner of that first race tonight tries to position himself at the front of this field. An overall strong competitor in our region, not just here at the track, as Halfacker's got plenty of results and competing in multiple different disciplines, but today showing off his stuff as a Cat 3, looking very good here tonight. 155 is the elimination. Torrey Park, 155. As here I am caught talking about the front of the field, where I'm supposed to be is the back in this elimination race. One of our juniors making his way around the track right now is in that hot seat right at the very back of the field. Will Huang trying to get around the corner here. It looks like he'll be able to survive this one, maybe. 316 is Stan Douglas. 316, Douglas by an inch. Looks like we have a volunteer off the back here. So we have an elimination kind of de facto. Everyone in the field is safe currently. No one from the field. We have a volunteer this lap was the call. Will is not out of the race unless he makes his own exit. He did not get called, but he is exiting anyway. So we have the junior makes his way off despite not actually being eliminated. This lap, we will eliminate once again from the field. Oh, it's wide across the back here. 379. 379 is Snoblin. Snoblin. Nine riders left in our group. This smaller group, of course, means just less laps for the elimination. We're going to get to the good part of the race really quick here. Watching the back end of this field yet again, coming through the corner. I believe that's Isaiah in the tough spot, trying to push forward now. And it's not going to be enough. That's Isaiah West, 3-1-2. Isaiah West. At 8 riders, right in the corner here. This looks like a bad spot to be down at that red line. Oh, maybe in the sprinter's lane. 3:11 it is. James Campbell Harris, 3:11. Out in 8th here. 3:11 exiting. Down to 7 riders. Halfacker still controlling the pace of the front. Right next door to him is Otis Hatfield. Looks like Rutomko sneaking up to the front as well, trying to get well away from this elimination lap. 4 in that back lineup are looking for space now. Top looks safe. 3:22 is Brendan Lang for ACT. At 6 now. At the back end, that was Calder Hardigan, now repositioning himself, moving up a little bit. Rutomko following on the wheel through turn 3. Tomko kind of rolling around and now into position, finds above the blue line, should be all right as they start to advance. Pressure down low. 3:14, Simon. 3:14, Zachary Simon. About to be in 5th place here, our next elimination. It looks like one's already pulling off. Might have a bit of a volunteer, but I believe the pull will come from the rider that just came off of the group. Everybody in the field of 4 is still in the race. Ritter, the volunteer, looks like getting the high 5 at least. There you go. Yeah, what are you going to do? 5th place for Ritter here tonight. We'll exit on this lap. 4 remain. Still Halfacker on the lead of the lap. Hatfield right next door. Hardigan with the colorful bike frame there in 3rd position as Tomko now overtaking, passing up towards the front now, putting Hardigan back into the back of this lineup. Now he's going to have to turn the pedals pretty hard here through the turn. Nice repositioning. It's going to put Hatfield into the elimination spot if he's not careful. And there it goes. 3:10 is Otis Hatfield from Project Echelon Vanguard. Eliminated this lap. Riders will be getting the bell here, signaling that it will be the final lap. 1 elimination incoming. Tomko in a tough spot, rounding the corner. Good sprint here. Halfacker holding on to the short lane. Whoa, it'll be in the middle, I think. 3:20 is eliminated. That is Hardigan. 3:20 in 3rd place. Tomko survives the lap and then backs off, and Halfacker will just ride this one in. Big effort there from Tomko to find one more lap in this race, which ends up getting them 2nd here in the Cat 3s, and they're going to cool down for just a moment to get ready for the next race, I bet, and jump in for another elimination. Halfacker showing us again his great strength and overall athleticism here tonight, leading out the field for so many laps, and it cannot be beaten here at the end. 3:18 will be your victor, and in 2nd place, Rutomko. Number 101. Open women now coming to the rail for elimination start. Riders of the open women field for the elimination now coming to the rail for their start. Rolling off for the neutral and the elimination of the open women. Same race format now for our last category tonight for this race. Last ride across the line, eliminated all the way down to the final two. Hope you're enjoying tonight's racing program. Thanks for joining us. It's been a great crowd here today, especially, of course, when we had the kids. Oh, my goodness. There's a lot of families here hanging out with us tonight, but there's still plenty of you here enjoying the race with us this evening. Park's a beautiful place on a beautiful Friday night just like this one, and we've got many more great Friday nights ahead of us this year, including our special events, the GP still upcoming. We've got Elite Regionals this year. Registration now open for our riders, by the way. Junior Takeover coming back to the track and plenty more. Check velodrome.org/calendar for all of our events and happenings. There's the whistle, racing it away. Last rider across the line. Next lap, eliminated. Riders around the corner on the home straight for our first elimination here. .109 Edwards. 109 Edwards. .112 Jasmine Chuang. Jasmine 112. Sarah Lynch now in that position, and I imagine she's pretty comfortable in that place actually in this race, kind of wanting to do a little bit of what we saw from Sherfy in this first group tonight, playing the back end of the field a little bit, moving up as needed, then falling back to rest. Can go a long ways in this kind of a race, as we saw again from number 19 in his field earlier tonight. Here comes Lynch around the corner at the back end of this field, positioning herself to take out another rider. Should be just fine this lap. It's 113 this time. Lucy Gilchrist, 113. 8 riders remain in the group. Safranek now at the back end of the field alongside of Lynch. Lynch will take the short lane, goes down low, leaving Safranek as the lone rider up high. Feels comfy for now for Lynch. Let's see how the rest of the field moves into position, though. Westover leading the chase from the riders at the back end. Safranek trying to get up around the corner, not able to find it. 105 is Laurel Safranek. 105. Seven riders remain. Working their way through the corner here now. We see Westover trying to get position above that blue line, head-to-head at the back end of this field. It'll be 104. Charlotte Westover. Westover. And a bit of a matchup there between Westover and Durfee. And a close one to the back end of the field. The youngster in this group, or one of the younger competitors, Hazel Baker, still in the group, positioning really nicely in the middle of the field, but now finds herself losing the tempo necessary to compete here. So she starts to fall off the field just as I noticed her in the middle of the group. This will be the elimination already off the back. The field is safe right now. Rider off the back. A bit of a volunteer here. Nice race for number 201, Hazel Baker. Mixing it up here tonight. Overall in 6th place. 5 riders remain. Top 5 positions upcoming. Hillary Luther next door to Kelly Darlene, leading this field right now. On deck, the Cat 1-2s are getting ready for their race. The scratch to wrap up tonight's race program. Cat 1-2s are on deck. Wide across the track. It looks like it might be down low. Whoa! 102. Kelly Darlene. 102. Darlene. That was a close one. Out in 5th place will be Darlene in a very close sprint there. All 5 across the track. Lynch put in the last match there, looks like. Still pulling from the field. That was early enough. The pull is coming from the field. Bell lap, bell lap, bell lap, bell lap. Luther will be the elimination this lap. 110. And now Tomko looking back at Neve, trying to see if there's any fight left here for this final lap. Lynch will be out in what will be 4th place. So a good race for number 103. Luther out in 3rd, and it's down to these two. Neve coming up alongside Tomko. Tomko's been picking up these victories despite also being 2nd in tonight's Cat 3 men field. Tomko rolls right back up again, is getting more laps, more miles, more effort here. Rides side by side with this great competitor. Wants to pick up the win. Nice little sprint to finish. Neve smiled across the finish line, says, yep, that's about how that one's going to go. Rue Tomko. Showing why they are a local champion for us here at the Velodrome and a national champion as well. And track looks clear. All right, we should bring our riders up to the rail. Cat 1-2s checking in for your next race. To the rail, please, for the scratch. Cat 1-2s. And riders away for the neutral. The long scratch. It's a 40-lap contest for the finish line. This one's nice and easy to explain. If you haven't watched scratch racing or don't know what I mean by that, I just mean a race for the finish line. It's really just that. Riders are going to be counting down the lap cards, working towards the finish. We'll hear a bell at 1 to go. Competition wraps up at the final lap. Positions decided by finishing order there and only then. Riders will be scored if they lose a lap or go up a lap. They'll be shown on the results to have gained or lost a lap, which will also have implications, of course, in the finishing order. Riders right now all together, about ready to get their start. And there's the whistle. 40 laps of racing. Gallagher on the front of the lap currently. At some point in this race, if I'm going to forecast the future, we're going to see number 3 not in this field, riding away from this group, trying to gain the lap on this field, if not more. With this distance, this rider's specialty, the pursuit individual time trial strength. Why leave it to a sprint when you can just lap the field? He's already shown he can do it earlier this season, so the field knows this is no secret play. This is not something that is going to be of any surprise to anyone out here that he has the ability to do it. He's going to look for an opportunity, probably some temporary teammates to join him for one of those efforts. Look for that opportune moment. He works his way to the back of the field as now Tyson Danielson is on the lead. Number 10. Right now looking very cooperative. This is a pretty long distance, even for a speedy-looking Cat 1-2 field this evening. So time to work together, keep the work shared, move things along here a little bit as we open up this race. 38 to go. Scott Grinsel to the front for the Dyna Racing team, with Elliot Crowther right behind him. Will take over for the back half of the track. On our 400-meter laps, you'll see a normal pull on the front is about 200 meters. That's roughly a turn and the back. If a rider gets off the way sooner than that, that means they're trying to preserve their legs. They're not really feeling that that's their play. They're not being selfish or greedy. That's kind of a negative way to put it, but in many ways it is. You have to be a little bit selfish sometimes. Why be at the front and help others when you can help yourself? Save your legs for the right time and the right moment. So you'll see a little bit of that here, and that's part of understanding the race and understanding how this thing's going to play out and how someone like me can kind of predict where things are going to happen and who's going to be the movers and the shakers. If riders are going to stay at the front and do the pulls, they're either feeling confident that they can keep it quick and that's what their intention is to win this race, or maybe they're working with intention of setting something up for someone else around them, thinking a little bit about the field and what kind of impact that might have. But if riders are staying off the front, it means they're looking to work in this field and find opportunity to sprint and win big at the end of this thing. Time their attacks, time their work for when it matters most. Here goes number 20 to the front. Magnuson taking the lead of this lap. Andrew Martin going down the back straight is taking a fair shot at taking a pole here, but Gallagher seems to think this is the opportunity he was looking for. As he works his way back to the front of the order here. As he gets to the front, he reinitiates, not really waiting for his turn, overtakes Martin, who responds pretty quickly. He's onto the wheel, as is number 10, Tyson Danielson. Quinn Kennedy, number 6, also getting in position quickly. Dyna Racing brings up Scott Grinsel, and everybody's basically lined up, as you can kind of see all the way to the back of the field. There's just some small little breaks here and there that are likely to come back together again. As Gallagher gets off the front, the field will have a chance to reconvene itself. 34 to go. A little wide at the back end here as riders kind of finding their position after the attack from Gallagher dissipates. Essentially single file formation once again. Grinsel pulling up out of the way. Darlene quickly scatters out of the sprinter's lane. 33 more laps to go. That's Havel now at the front, number 23. Lots of movement above the blue line as Galen Erickson is not interested in being the one to keep things quick. Gallagher takes the invitation from about halfway back in this field, dives in the sprinter's lane, and goes on his own move. Crowther was watching that wheel and is happy to try to join in. He does not want to let this kid do work and not also benefit from it. Chris Wilson follows the wheel. There's Malikian, Kennedy, and now the rest of the field has jumped up pretty hard as well behind the wheel of Martin, number 1. So here's the play. This is what's tricky for number 3. Again, it's no secret what he can do. The rest of the field is very well aware of this. They are marking him for making these kind of moves. And if he goes like this, he has to think that they're not going to help him either. If they're going to follow the wheel, like the assumption would be, if I'm Gallagher out there, is that whoever's following me right now, if I let off the pace, they're not going to try to help pull me through. If he can get into a really advantageous position with just the right group of riders, that might end up paying off for him. But otherwise, he's having to make this move basically on his own and hope that he doesn't have too many riders stuck on the wheel. He's trying it again here. He's got Martin this time. Crowther jumps right back down, though, and finds him. Number 30, always trying to play and to be in the right position, not wasting any energy. He's only going to use it when he needs to jump up on this leader. That is Gallagher. As soon as Gallagher pulls up, there it goes Martin as well. Surprisingly here a little bit, though, the front of the field is going to keep it quick. Crowther does a pull here at pretty good speed. Danielson on the wheel. There's number 23 again, Ryan Havel. Gallagher pulling up way above the blue line and back away from this. A little bit of acceleration from Darlene to come back up to the leaders as they all move above the blue line. So a lot of forward and back A little bit of testing the waters. The field is playing a game here of who's going to go for it next. You know Gallagher will. He's already found his way back up to the front from the back half of the group. The rider of that red helmet now on the wheel of Malikian, who's going to take a turn at the front for the Shogun of Seattle racing team. .29 laps showing on the lap cards. Still plenty of laps for contest here as these athletes needed to show up ready for an endurance event here tonight for what is generally the shortest distance sporting event we have in cycling is track cycling. But these 40 lap races, this is a serious number to pull off here at the Velodrome. Early pace in the race, looking very quick, like record pace fast, according to the officials watching the stopwatch. So no surprise that with Gallagher in the shape he's in and the way the field's had to respond to him, that this could be knocking on the door of a track record for this distance. This is the distance that we have measured here. So essentially from the go, from the sound of the whistle, we have an established record in the record books for fastest time. I'll look it up here in a little while once I take a moment to take a breath from talking about the race. There's just so much going on forward and back in the scratch race. It's been kind of interesting just to keep our eyes on how much riders are trying things out here. As 3 goes, so does this race usually go here, at least in this season. So I spent so much time talking about him. The other real starter and instigator has been number 30. He's going to try something here. He's got Carl Hafer right with him. Crowther on the front, Hafer right behind. Grinsell responding, as is Quinn Kennedy. Now things getting pulled apart here. 3's nowhere to be found, so maybe they're feeling a little anxious to go ahead and get this break going. A lot of work here from these 5 riders. We're going to have Galen Erickson joining in as well. Looking back to the chase group of 3, that's going to be Darlene now, back by about 30, 40 meters on the track. Tyson Danielson and Andrew Martin. Here comes Serge Malikian from the field, bringing with him Gallagher and the rest of the chasing riders in the field. Still on the same straight with the breakaway. Heading down this home straight, Danielson takes his pull, now sending Martin into the corner. They're keeping pace with the leaders right now, not really losing time or distance at this current mark. Maybe about 45 to 50 meters back is the field from the lead group. Darlene on the front. Serge Malikian about to take his turn. 19 goes down to no man's land as the leaders catch him. Gallagher now to the front, seeing 24 to go. Not getting too much closer here to that break still. Martin's turn to now lead the field. Keeping it a very consistent pace. The lead group is still within striking distance. Checking in on the leaders, just kind of seeing their pace here. You can see Crowther's working hard again when he gets to the front. He starts to really drive this pace. He wants to put some distance between him and the rest of the field. And it looks like Quinn Kennedy's willing to do some pretty big work here too. They get to the front and you can see the extra effort. They're pushing the pedals pretty hard here down the back straight. So good tempo here from the lead group. Back to the field, still in pursuit and looking very consistent in their tempo. They've lost maybe a second or two here as Andy Baker's on the front. Number 7. Danielson taking a short pull here, feeling the difficulty to maintain tempo with this break. And we spent kind of the early parts of the race talking about who to really keep our eyes on in this long-distance race. It's the rider that's at the front of this field, but he's left out of the break. Importantly, for the way this race is going to play out, the field, they've got a very strong workhorse here in number 3 who can help close this distance down when he gets motivated to. Will he get motivated to? This looks like this might be one of those moments. You can see he's taking the long pull. So you'd expect a rider not wanting to do the work would have already gotten out of the way. Gallagher stays on the front. He's found a little bit of speed here. This will start working them a little bit closer to that breakaway. A full lap already for Gallagher at the front. The field is happy to follow that wheel. Good turn of speed here from the junior. Takes a good full turn around the track. Pulls out of the way looking for a little bit of rest as he goes back into the back of this lineup. We're passing the halfway point at 20 to go. There's Luca, number 44, at the front of the field. Number 5 now taking over. Chris Wilson also trying to keep it pretty quick. So it looks like this group is generally motivated to keep it rolling. They want to close this thing down. The distance is not happening just yet. We'll go really quickly and focus on this lead group again, who is really well organized. They've taken their turns. Everyone coming to the front and is putting in effort. They are trying to keep off the charge from this field, and it's been relentless. Both groups putting in a lot of effort here, but there's only 5 riders to share the work in this lead group. They're going to have to dig deep here. Back to the field as number 11 puts in a very speedy half lap there once again. Everyone taking their turns to keep it quick. Danielson to the front now. Not enough here, though. They're still not showing the speed they need. It's going to take Gallagher yet again. Maybe a full pull here or two just to even get a second back on the time. The front group has just been so consistent in their pacing. It's almost a static race, which is incredible considering how hard both of these groups are working, how evenly matched the overall effort of these groups are. If the front 5 end up winning this race, it is going to be quite the story because they've been out here for so long as it is already. This is just incredible athleticism from these 5. And Crowther is starting to pull away from these leaders. He's looking strong enough here tonight to just ride away a bit here. He's tired of hearing Gallagher getting called. He's a competitor of this style, of this kind. He can dig deep. Speaking of which, the field is back on the wheel of Gallagher, who's taking that long pole. He is digging deep as well. He wants to get this close enough. The thing that we're not really seeing here, and I guarantee you, if we get down there and look at the power meters and understand how strong Gallagher is and how much more oxygen he still has in that gas tank, I bet it's more than we think or can see from here. There's still probably quite a bit left in that system when it's time to go that we'll get to see later on in this race potentially. The field is far from out of this race, and one out of the lead group has peeled off. So the one rider peeling out of that lead group is going to find a little bit of respite in the field. They won't have to pull as often or as frequently, meaning our lead group is down to 4. Still a very similar break to these leaders onto the home straight. We see them here. All lined up behind Crowther currently. Quinn Kennedy, number 6. Number 25, Galen Erickson. Number 15, Carl Hafer make up that lead group. Seeing 15 to go. Field about to catch number 7, Eddie Baker in the turn. Martin pulls out of the way. That's Nolan Adams now taking his turn of a pull down the back straight. Now you can see it is starting to get just ever so closer. They've maybe gained a second or two here over the last several laps. The lead group trying so hard here. Number 18 jumping on the back will not be able to do work with this group as no man's land for Scott Grinsell currently. But trying to hold on with the speed of these leaders. Back to the field, we'll continue to watch. This group is sharing a lot of the work, still being very few people being selfish in this group. It seems like everybody's wanting a chance at top 5 here tonight. If they can catch this lead group. The home crowd's starting to get behind this breakaway. An impressive group of 4 is doing some real work here tonight. If you want this field to catch, though, you're going to need to give them some help here. Gallagher looking stronger with every lap that goes by. He's starting to work his way closer and closer with the field benefiting once again on this long pull from Gallagher. Leaders will be seeing 12 to go. Gallagher still leading this field. Maybe gaining another second over the last lap. Barely making a notch on this lead group, but it certainly feels noticeable now as we hit the home straight. You can sense that they're getting closer. Gallagher just does not look terribly gassed yet. You can see again, he's still got plenty more. He's fine with the current state of the race. Back into the group. Now you can see down the back straight yet again. It looks like a couple seconds been notched off over the last couple of laps. It's just this consistent climb back into it. Martin now going. This is a rider who could close this gap very quickly if he wanted to. The leaders have been so persistent, obstinate in their effort. Now within very reasonable distance. Andy Baker back onto the front after going down the lap. He can do the work here at the front, and we have another rider peeling off from the leaders. It's Quinn Kennedy backing off. Might spell doom. Quinn Kennedy above the blue line. Crowther looks like he didn't have any help at the front. He comes back down the sprinter's lane, and they'll still join him. He's going to try to put up the fight. He does not want to give this thing up. 10 to go. Crowther still leading the way. That's Chris Wilson, number 5 on the front for the field. Nearly there. It just doesn't look like we're going to be able to keep this race looking like this for much longer. Gallagher at the front, just kind of keeping a pretty consistent turn of the pedals. Just enough power to keep it right there. Pulling up, taking his half lap. It's now Martin's turn. Might be expecting Martin to want to go do the catch. Now at 9 to go. Just kind of keeping them right there. It's just kind of dangling them off the front of the field. It's almost like the carrot on the stick in a way. Like that distance looks like it might be significant, but watching enough of this sport, you know how quickly those distances can close when riders get the top speed. And Hafer also peeling from the front. And now Gallagher finding a window here will put on the pressure. Here comes Martin. He recognizes it at 8 to go. This has got to be go time. Eriksson and Crowther about to be caught, it looks like to me. Crowther goes high, and so does Gallagher. Here comes Martin up above the blue line. Malikian, and there we go. Finally, things coming back together, at least momentarily. Gallagher will not rest here, though. The junior on the attack. Right back in the sprinter's lane. He'll keep on the power. Now you've got to really test your athleticism. Riders got to dig deep. Can they hold onto this wheel? Find that wheel. This is the moment he was looking for. You can't hold on to me. You're tired. Crowther's been off the front. Look at him. He's going to find his way back into this group. He says, no way. You're not going to lose me yet. Number 30 finds his way back onto this lineup despite being the main instigator of this breakaway group. We've got number 5 leading the way up there. Galen Eriksson also on that breakaway effort is able to hold on to the wheel of Gallagher as he comes underneath, and this will be the race format now as this group of 6 battling against the junior who continues to go on the attack. No rest for this group. You'll see riders going down the lap as this group of 6 is catching them. Seeing 6 to go. Everybody looking around. They're trying to find as much rest as they can within this race. Nowhere to hide. Eriksson rolling a little bit here. Group of the 6 riders down the middle. The back straight is your race. Everyone else on the track is in a position behind this field now. Eriksson getting passed by Gallagher, followed by, I believe that's Luca on the wheel at 5 to go. It is your recent upgrader, 44, looking very competitive here tonight. Clearly was ready to race in this race if he's up here with this group throwing down is Luca Ostertag-Hill, number 44. Seeing 4 to go. And 44 is being glue on the wheel of Gallagher here. Will not let go. He takes over the lead for a moment. He's looking around to see the response. Crowther right there. So now our lead group of 6 has become 2 groups of 3. Right behind him is going to be Martin on the lead of the group of 3 now chasing the leaders. The other groups of 3 and 4 we see on the track are other chase groups that are off the leaders at this stage. In fact, the next closest group is actually the group of 4 in the middle of the back straight being led by Darlene. Back up to the front we go to watch this race unfold because this is interesting. We've got these 2 groups, 3 to go. Top 5 positions will come from these 2 groups of 6. Gallagher to the very front of that lead group. Martin, here comes the move from the back. Martin needs to get up there quick. He gets up and out of the saddle. He's trying to do a big move here to find this front group. He does not want to be left behind for top positions here tonight in the long scratch. He has to go now. Big bridging move here. Almost there. Rounding onto the home straight. 2 to go. Leaders on the home straight, crossing the finish line. Martin should be able to cruise this up. He will. Martin finds his way up. A little bit up and down movement from Gallagher. All around the track. Crowther taking a little bit of a dive. Dancing down to the sprinter's lane. Followed now by Ostertag-Hill on his first night in the category. Looking very good here tonight. Gallagher has been hard to deny this season so far. This could be one where someone finds the finish line ahead of him, but man, how do you put it? How do you find it in front of the junior here? 1 to go, folks. Put your hands together. 1 more lap. Let's hear it. It's all lined up here for the finish. Ostertag-Hill above the blue line and above the junior. Number 3 riding them now from the front. Down low, there's where Martin wants to get it started. He takes the red line. Down the back straight, Martin being the lead-out rider for this one. Gallagher responding nicely. He's down in the sprinter's lane. He should be able to set up the pass. This is what we were expecting here tonight. It is no surprise that on the long scratch, he still has plenty left in the motor. Cannot be denied. A great race tonight for the Cat 1-2s. Gallagher will find another. And Ostertag-Hill on his first night as a Cat 1-2 Flying in for second, number 44. Number 30, Elliot Crowther, third across the line. And number 1, Andrew Martin, I believe, will end up in fourth place tonight on the scratch. That should be your top 4. What a dynamic race here this evening. Adding another one on the belt there. We're getting the call for the next field to come on up to the rail. Cat 3s for your long scratch. Time to check in. Riders to the rail, please. A dynamic race there for the Cat 1-2s tonight. Fun one to watch. A lot of different things going on. We're going to get another long scratch here up next. A 25-lap contest for the Cat 3s is on deck for us next. Riders away for their neutral. 25 laps of scratch racing for the Cat 3s. Thank you again for joining us this evening. It's been a great turnout for our audience here in the park. Food truck's still here, beverage garden's still open, and 2 more races to go. If you're stopping in on the live stream, thank you again for watching. If you haven't checked in yet to the live stream, you're here in the park, we would love it if you just go say hi really quick. Turn on the YouTube app on your smartphone and search for JB Velodrome. We are streaming live right now. We'd appreciate that thumbs up and subscribe while you're there. It really means a lot. Thanks to Dominic behind the scene, one of our board members and tech guru of the offseason. We have new overlays that are showing a lot more information. We think it really levels up the production. If you think that's pretty cool, don't forget to give us that thumbs up as well to show your support for all the hard work we've been doing behind the scenes this year. We appreciate it. Sound of the whistle. Racing's underway. Scratch race. 25 laps to go. All lined up here, single file to start this thing off. Slightly smaller field tonight, maybe a little bit more uneven, unbalanced in terms of the types of athletes we have here this evening. This field has had a hard time staying together just because there's just a little bit different dynamic setup here this evening with the kind of riders we have. We'll see on the long scratch if we can hold things a little bit more together for a little bit longer. 24 to go now. Snoblin at the front pulls up above the blue line, and everybody's okay, taking just a moment to catch their breath. The rider to watch tonight has been Halfacker, number 318, in the teal and white. He's now in second in this lineup, catching up to the lead rider. Winner of both the first and second races this evening. Don't forget about Ruud Tomko also in the mix. They are racing not only in the open women field, but also in this Cat 3 as number 101 and has been a big-time competitor, getting second in the elimination for this field before rolling off and picking up a victory in the open women immediately after. Halfacker at the front, pulls out of the way now for Hardigan to take over on the lead. Some rotations here, kind of some of that talk I was giving earlier about rotating at the front, taking turns. We're seeing that here. Everybody all still together at 22 to go. More great racing here at our velodrome all season long. We're a summer facility for the most part because I don't know if you noticed, there's no roof. And when it's raining, we can't race on this racing surface. It's a big bummer. Talk to me if you want to become a roof sponsor. However, when we are here, let's see, what is our schedule normally? Monday, Wednesday, and Friday every single week at 7 p.m. We've got racing going on here. The main show, of course, on Friday nights. We do have a couple of special events throughout this season. The big ones to look out for, the Marymoor GP, which is our biggest cash purse of the entire season, where we typically attract some international level talent. Competitors from other countries will fly in. They're looking for extra preparation for the Olympics. They're looking for just a little bit more international velodrome experience. They have found the Marymoor Grand Prix to be a great stopping place along their tour during the summer. Plus, the fastest riders in our region will show up and compete for, I believe, a $15,000 total cash purse, somewhere in that range, in prizes, somewhere in that range. It's a big one, and it's going to be fun. Look out for that later this summer. All of our special events and racing schedule can be found on our website, velodrome.org. Once again, all racing and our educational opportunities, everything we do here, head to velodrome.org to learn more. And, of course, don't be afraid to follow us on the socials, JB Velodrome on Instagram and on YouTube, as well as we have a Facebook, the Jerry Baker fan page. Fan zone? Page zone? Get in the zone? I don't know. Don't finish that. $18 laps to go, and it looks like we've got a little bit of move from the front. It looked like it was Hardigan trying a move at the front here, brought back into the group. Halifax now leading things at 17 to go, and a bit of a small gap here. Tomko's not going to let it go, though. Number 101 responding quite quickly to this break of 3. Now about to essentially become 5, plus those trailing 3 riders working their way back in. The rest of the field is off of the pace of this group now. The field, the front of the race. All the riders out there are behind the field in position. 16 to go. Another attack from number 320 is Hardigan. And Tomko feeling like it's time to throw down a little bit more. Does not want to let that roll away either. Trying to respond quickly. Hardigan with a good attack here, though. Even with the response, there's still a nice gap here. Maybe an opportunity opening. Here comes Halifax to the front, though. I think he might feel like it's his opportunity to keep it rolling as well. He'll keep the pace up just enough. Hardigan's kind of dangling here just up front of the field. Looking around to see the gap isn't as big as maybe they're hoping for. 15 to go. Just keep on the pedals. Make them catch you. Why give up the position you've already worked to get? The races continue to stay pretty well together here with this group of now 8 riders. Beautiful view of the mountain right now with the sun hitting it just right over my right view over here over the top of corner 1. Beautiful evening. Man, gorgeous view here tonight as we're enjoying the sights and the sounds of racing this evening. 13 to go. Hardigan back on the front again, with Tomko on the wheel. Congratulations to our podium top 3 there tonight for the Cat 1-2s. And seeing 12 to go. Sitting wide across the track, that signals time to go a little slower. Everybody's taking a small break here before the speed picks back up again. At 11 to go, stretching things out here now is number 314, Zachary Simon on the attack. Quick response. He'll pull up above the blue line, resetting the speed from the group once again. Look out underneath, though. Liquid Velo on another attack here. Small gap opened up. Simon starting to respond as well as Hatfield right behind him. And this is essentially the entire group of 8 now stretched out in a very quick pursuit. At 10 to go. 10 to go. Isaiah West still in the lead. Number 312 pulls up out of the red and the black lines of the sprinter lane and fizzles right back out again. Things together. Rest period for sure. The whole field above the blue line. It's a long race tonight, and with only 8 of them, they're picking their laps carefully here. Halfacker at the front is marked by this whole field. They watched him win the last 2. They're waiting for him to make the move. Simon on the move again, number 314. Just kind of keeping it interesting. Up and down he goes. Just trying out the field, maybe testing the water, see if there's a response. Here comes number 320 again, Hardigan. Very forward and low position. Looks like he's trying to get as aero as he can in these efforts. Really fitting low to the bike frame, seeking aerodynamics, seeking that kind of consistent tempo sort of an effort position. He realizes again the field's ready to respond too quickly. Pulls up, takes another dig. He's down into position again. Halfacker watching him roll away, will not respond here. That's James Campbell Harris in turn 2, being found by the field down the lap. Field moving underneath and continuing forward towards the leader. No response still for Hardigan. He's found himself maybe the first real gap of this race. Tomko is going to bite the bullet first here out of the group, and this will be a pretty quick catch under the speed of Tomko, it looks like. Onto the home straight, seeing 7 to go. The leader just a few bike lengths off the group now. Still in that very low aero position, trying to stay as efficient as possible and consistent solo effort. Tomko all but spelling the doom here, though, for this one once again. There's our friends from Australia tuning in again on the live stream. Good to see you. From Darwin, Australia. Well, happy tomorrow to you all from the States. Getting a little bit of help from the beverage garden. They're enjoying the race. Good to hear from you folks down there. 6 to go. This has been, I kind of talked about this field not really sticking together early on, but they've really been very well organized, well kind of combined. I shouldn't say organized. They're not really organizing. They're competing. And what the field has shown is with each rider going off the front, the field is willing to do the work to respond and keep it together. So it's been hard to break this thing apart because none of these attacks are allowed to stick. Here's another move. Getting some help from the beverage garden. 5 to go. It's Isaiah getting some work done here. And Tori responding immediately as well, giving us a break of 3. This could spell out some pretty interesting race happenings here for this group. The field. Snowblin pulls up out of the way. No chase really right now. It's just kind of staying consistent. You can see the gap has opened up around 25, 30 meters.
You know what, Corey? It's Nolan here on the infield. You know who I think is going to pull this back together? It's going to be Otis. Look at this position. Just drawing it back.
He does look good on that bike, 310. We're talking about that great position, arrow, kind of low to the bike. He's a big dude, but he's got some great power on him.
He sure is, and he's already shown some pretty fast times in the Kilo this year, so you know he's got power and a good CDA. Dual threat.
Look out for that. And behind Tomko is kind of starting the catch here. They do look like they've got enough to bring this thing back together towards the front. It's still West on the front with 3 to go.
That's Calder pulling it back a little bit more. Otis in the wheel, and Root Tomko sitting third wheel. It's going to be a group of 5 here going into 2 to go.
Yeah, they're combining up on this back straight now. This will be interesting. The leader of this race tonight, or the rider to watch, I should say, at the top of this competition would be Halfacker, who pulls off the front.
Halfacker, a known sprinter from the road, coming over to track a couple years ago, a couple years back off, but now getting right back into it, trying to get some upgrade points. So I would, if I was a betting man, I'd put my money on Halfacker as well.
Yeah, really powerful tonight. Smart racer. Again, lots of road experience, as you mentioned. Got to watch him win plenty of criterium in his fields.
Yep, Cat 1 racer from the road, so you know he's got tactics up his sleeve.
He's right next to Otis Hatfield, right behind number 320 now, who's been doing a lot of work tonight. I think that's going to be really tough for that lead rider position-wise to pick up a sprint win tonight for how much work they've been doing.
Sitting up a little bit, going into the bell. Halfacker way up top with some height. Should be beneficial going into the sprint here.
Getting one to go with the bell ringing. That height now is going to be closing down as number 318 is taking that left-hand turn, moving down the sprinter's lane. The full sprint now really engaged. Falling through the turn. Halfacker waiting for the counter punch, I think. Still has another bit of punch from him. He's hitting it now down the back straight, waiting to see anybody. Can anybody cross that rear wheel? Halfacker from the front. I don't think anybody's going to find it. Tomko in second position is going to try. Diving to the sprinter's lane. Tomko taking a dig. Halfacker, Tomko. Halfacker does another one here tonight, getting those upgrade points and making it look good. 101 for Tomko, finds it second across the line. And after all that work, you know who I got to give credit to? It's still going to be hard again. Third across the line. Putting himself in a great position here tonight.
Yeah, called a recent upgrade into the threes, showing off some class there.
Very impressive race for them tonight. Good. Congratulations to our Cat 3s for some great racing tonight. Now we're clear for our next field. Open women are coming to the rail or are already there for the long scratch race. A 20-lap contest about ready to start for the open women competitors. Riders away for the neutral. Scratch racing. Our final race of the night on this beautiful Friday evening. One more test of speed here for our athletes. 20 times around the track to find our winner for the open women. Getting another second place in the Cat 3s. Rue Tomko jumping right back into it. If you don't know who to cheer for, just cheer for Rue. Come on now. It's easy. Field all together, likely to get the sound out of this neutral lap. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourself here tonight. Don't forget, Friday nights are a weekly habit of ours. Just check the weather report. We will not be here if it's raining. We will post for race cancellations on our social medias if you're curious. And the sound of the whistle means racing's underway. Put your hands together for the open women, our final race of the night. 20 to go.
I wonder how much ice cream I could eat in 20 laps.
Are we about to find out?
Well, if somebody threw some my way.
They are still here. Nice plug for the food trucks, by the way. A seasoned veteran by this time. They are still here, right? I actually can't see.
I'm staring at somebody, and they're staring at me, and it's getting real weird.
All right. Excellent.
I'm giving them my ice cream eyes.
Early on to the race, Hillary Luther, number 110, taking this pole. Hazel Baker at the front there for a moment. Again, I think the smallest competitor in this field with a really good elimination. Did you catch that earlier?
I did. Maybe smallest in stature, but largest in heart.
I love that. So very true. Yeah, really an impressive finish in the elimination. It's fun to watch these kids grow up, obviously. They're going to get stronger as they get bigger, but she spent a lot of time out here in this field getting laps as a young rider and not really being able to be in contention always, right, when you're a younger competitor and this is your field to race on a Friday night. But starting to kind of get in the mix. It's be exciting to see her in a year or two. She continues to work her way in this field.
Yeah, leveling up in skill, leveling up in fitness, and I think the additional part of the equation is leveling up in gears. I think they're a bit older now, and so able to run a heavier gear, which keeps them in the mix just a tad more.
Field's still working together. Pretty collaborative effort early on. No surprise on the longer scratch with a small field at the end of a Friday night like this.
If it all stayed together, given Rue, who is ostensibly the one to beat in a sprint, but given they are maybe less than fresh after, what was it, a 30 lapper before? So who's 35 lapper? 25? Well, numbers are hard. Who do you think are some of the other candidates here for a fast finish if it stays together?
If it stays together, that's a key word here. Well, we've seen some good top speed from Neve. It's really been positioning really well in these races. And the biggest thing is who's found the wheel of Rue in most of those sprints, to be completely fair. That's been the positional game to watch. If it stays together, that's one aspect of this to watch. Darlene looking pretty quick here tonight, too. I wouldn't count her out. But the real one, I think, to watch is going to be Hillary Luther, who is big-time competitor. When she's in the right place at the right time, she can surprise you with some really great speed besides her overall endurance and race smarts.
Yeah, I feel like Hillary's been out for years and years and years, and the racecraft there is pretty significant, as well as the finishing power.
Yeah, brings both to the track every single week. Good to see her back here. Haven't had a chance to watch a race this year, and no surprise, she looks just as competitive as she did a year ago.
Could be the new team vibes that are pushing her along.
That's right, the Valkyrie racing team.
Nope, that's not it. Guess again.
But she's wearing Leading Factor Racing. She needs to update her information.
Oh, all right.
I'm reading a sheet instead of looking at the reality of the jersey on the person.
Well, Corey.
Get off your screen, as they say.
Such a millennial. Just glued nonstop.
I can only say nothing in retort. Field all still together here. The other thing I'm thinking about in terms of like race dynamics of this race, is, as you mentioned, if the racer to beat in the sprint is Rue, and they may not be as fresh, wouldn't it be a nice tactic here to not let this be too much of rest of a race early on?
Well, see, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say they're not the one to beat, given that hard race they just finished.
That was a pretty tough one, and that was a big effort on that final lap to be competitive. So,
I might eat my words, but I'm just spitballing here.
We'll see how this plays out. Speaking of Rue, they are going to be involved on some aggression here.
Oh boy,
and that starts pulling things apart. So they're not waiting for anything. They're going to go ahead and get this going. I mean, they waited for about 4 laps. And now we're starting to hit it.
That's about how long I wait before I decide if I want to pull into the infield or not.
There's Hillary Luther on the front. In the local kit, Leading Factory.
Who else has made the break here? That's going to be Rice University. Kelly Darlene, Coach Kelly up the front. And then is that a Westover? I can't see. Lynch. Oh, no, Lynch caught in no man's land.
Neve's also in this break of 4. So I talked about Durfee early on. Kind of overall pretty strong rider, good endurance, knows where to hold onto a wheel. So positions herself in this group of 4 as number 111 in 3rd position behind now Luther comes to the front. Watching the chase here for a moment, seeing where the rest of our riders are. It looks like Lynch just off of that group that's going to be Laurel Safranek in right behind on that wheel. And then we got the group of 4, and I think that's Lucy Gilchrist leading out that effort of 4 in the chase group at the back end of this contest.
Yep, that's Jasmine right in the wheel behind with Westover and Baker. You know, I'm intrigued to see how they call this because we do have equal groups. Is this off the front or is this the field? Because it is an equitable sized group to the folks on the back. So we're going to look for the finger here from the official to see who is the lead group.
The habit has been, if it's close in numbers, to put it to the front of the race. We'll see if that's what the case is.
Yep, confirmed.
It is confirmed. Okay. So field is the lead. That tends to simplify things in most races.
I love a simple race.
11 to go. Darlene on a smooth pole at the front of the group, number 102.
Are there any comments in the chat we need to address?
You know, it's actually pretty quiet tonight. The most recent one was Mike G'day from Darwin, Australia.
I've heard of that place. That's way, way, way down under.
Yeah, we've had like a contingency of like weekly check-ins from Australia this year. It's been fun. I don't know. We just hit like the right metric for some cross-section of cycling fans there.
I don't hate it.
I don't either. I think it's great. And they engage on the live chat. They say hi. You know, if I kept talking about it, they might say something else. I don't know. It's a good time. No questions here today. It's pretty quiet. Like it's been pretty stale. Now's your chance if you're out there in the live chat. We'd love to hear from you. We have our eyes on it now. We're watching it. You know what I'm saying? Race continuing here. This break of 4 looking very smooth, very consistent, taking their turns at the front, just keeping this tempo rolling very consistent.
So my question is, if we're saying Hillary and Rue are the ones to beat, why would you continue to work with them at this point? You're so far off the front. Wouldn't it behoove you to just sit in?
You know, the analytics on the outside might say one thing, and then you know how it is once you're actually out there on the bike and next to the athletes, and you're like, I want to win this thing, and I got to be in the, you know, I'm right on the same step and right in the same foot as these other riders. Why would I give up any position? Let's go.
I don't think they said any of that.
Or maybe it's just head down, go, go, go. I don't know. I wouldn't know as much as you. Hey, there's Chip Chase checking in. Love the racing. Hate that I can't race just yet. We know.
Chip Chazé.
Chip Chazé, the man. He's still recovering. He's out there watching right now, though. Good to hear from you, man. Off-season for us, at least. Off-season injuries are the worst.
True story. 7 to go.
Your field taking in one rider there momentarily. That's Jasmine getting caught by the field here. I think the back of the race has them outnumbered by 1, but I still think from simplicity we're continuing to call that the field, but I'll confirm. What's happened is that chasing groups have lost a few, so we'll talk about these folks just for a second over here in turn 3. Some of those chasers falling back on the pace, and they've gotten back into those back groups who have now combined for a group of 5. This has the rest of our competitors now all together here. Seeing 7 to go with the junior Westover on the front with Gilchrist right behind.
You know, I'm curious, if I was a sprinter type and I was this far up the road in a group of 4, knowing that you were never going to be caught by the field, I might not want to catch, because if you do catch, that just makes a larger group for the bunch sprint when things get a little more hectic. So I might, if I was them, I might just sit up a bit, not pull through too hard, rest, and wait for the sprint so it's a little cleaner air.
Yeah, there's something to be said. Like you catched, you know you're up on position on the other 6 riders you caught, but you were already up on position on them. They weren't going to be contesting you at the line anyways. Now you just have to navigate that extra, as you say, that extra traffic you got to work through. So they'll, despite that, they're just going to let it roll. Luther's going to finish the catch here, it looks like, go right underneath. I mean, they could carry this momentum right forward, and really it ends up being sort of a wash here in terms of the way the race goes. We'll see. Four to go. Field catches, or excuse me, the lead catches here, so. Another high from Darwin, Australia. Okay, so there's a duo. They like fixed gears.
Okay.
And they like beers.
All right.
I mean, gears and beers ain't a bad.
Yeah.
That's not a bad t-shirt.
Yeah, we can be friends.
Yeah, that's a pretty good start.
Do they have a velodrome in Darwin?
Do they have a velodrome in Darwin? I don't know. We'd have to look. We'd have to ask.
Honestly, it's probably one of those grass outdoor ones, which could do. Cyclocross crit. Sign me up.
Our field working their way through this race, about to be at that bell lap, almost there. They're going to see 2 to go this time. So all this talk and all this hoopla to come down to this group finish. Will Tomko find another victory here tonight for this field? Luther on the wheel of Darlene as we hit the home straight with 2 to go. So the next lap is all about positioning for the sprint. Where are you going to line up? Who are you going to be behind?
It's a great question, and I'm glad I'm not racing because I don't have to figure that part out anymore.
It's nice and relaxing just to kind of speculate here from the outside, isn't it?
Whew, that's a lot of work from Neve going into the bell.
Down the back straight, getting a little bit queued up here are our riders, starting to get into this fanned out triangle position, looking a little bit like an elimination here.
Yeah, Rue in the catbird seat. Do people still say that?
You do now.
Always have.
There we go. Hitting the bell. It's Neve on the front of the field. 1 to go. 1 to go.
Hillary Luther looking sitting high there. That's a good position in the draft.
Darlene kind of keeping a little bit of check here on the side of Tomko. Just waiting for that aggression to match. Good match here from Darlene. Luther's trying to get in position down to the short lane. Now the speed is engaged here from all four of our riders, with Westover sort of joining in on this effort too. At the front, Tomko trying to round the corner in control. Darlene challenging. Tomko will take another. Tomko, Darlene, and Luther go 1, 2, and 3. That's a good race there for those riders, and another great result for Rue Tomko. The story of tonight, and probably a lot of Friday nights this year, is going to be, can we take a race from these juniors? Who's going to take one? Like, you know, that's the question. When will it happen, and what's going to cause it? It's very impressive. And that was, Tomko just collapsing in there. I would too, holy moly, after double duty this evening. Congratulations to all of our athletes for another fantastic night of racing. We put our hands together one more time for all of our athletes, folks out here. Let me hear the fans. Where are you at? Thank you so much. We can only do this because we have such a fantastic crew of racers around here, this local community that we are so happy to share in and get to watch and support. The only thing we have left to cover here, we're going to take it off stream, though, is going to be our final podiums we got to do. Other than that, we are all wrapped up for the evening. The Velodrome will remain open here for a while as our athletes are packing up and getting themselves out of here. The beverage garden's still open. Still time to put in your order at the food trucks and enjoy the company of your friends and your family. Thank you so much for making your way out to join us here tonight. Another beautiful evening of racing at the Velodrome now concluded. Feels like summer's really here when we have a Friday night like this with all of the friends at the Velodrome. If you're out there still enjoying the stream or re-watching it later, if you enjoyed any part of what we did today, you like the commentary you're hearing, you see the broadcast quality, appreciate any of that, make sure you leave that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and support a nonprofit trying to bring track cycling to the world from our little neck of the woods up here in the Pacific Northwest. Thanks to our volunteers, our officials, and of course our fans for making the journey out here today to make this another fun night of racing. We hope you've enjoyed the racing action today. We'll be back with more 7 p.m. every single Friday night through the summer months. As long as it ain't raining, you'll find us here at the Velodrome doing more fun things like this. Thank you again to you all for joining us. We cannot wait to host you for more racing action right here at the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome.